79T 2458 Learning Corp. Little Red Riding Hood. Take one.
40 years of my life is in the wire that's gone. Does that make sense?
Where they say there are Indian people pooping on our beach.
It's a spool of wire. 40 years of my life is in the wire that's gone.
Name a bigger red flag than a white guy with a podcast. I'll wait.
I am not impressed. I will have you know, I'm like 80% white. The podcast is goddamn good, and I don't want you anyway. You got random Iroquois art and not art on your walls. You're not my type, sir. Or madam. I don't know, you're allowed to say any more? What can I say? Hey, is it Saturday already? Jeez. Should I try this Zen? I wouldn't say just do it for fun. Honestly, for me, it's just so I don't have to take race trams when I'm writing a book. Hey, it's Red Morning. I have figured out my, like when you're like, well, who are your peers? Who are the other people in your space? I used to think it was the Red Pill guys. I don't think it is anymore. I've discussed. Do you guys know who Sam Hyde is? He has a podcast, and I was watching it. And I'm like, dude, if you make what I do, slightly more teenage angst, couple more guests, and a little bit higher low production value, interesting. So, topic is going to be the covert contracts. We're going to do a little one. It's going to be a shorter one because we're going to go over to the other channel after this. And as much as I love talking about the dicks of men and women and the feminist thing and all this stuff, I'd much rather talk about aliens. I don't know, a 40-year-old science fiction movie just seems more interesting to me. But hey, we got a little bit for everybody. Bring the whole family. Let me just fix this. There. A little bit makes all the difference. That's what your wife said. Oh, yeah. Yeah, covert contracts, dancing monkey improvement program, the Swiss watch, and then a couple little examples. It comes up often, and in fairness, most subjects for the cast come from two sources. One, as I'm researching or grabbing stuff for another book from the nonfiction side of things. Or two, in the workshop, something I've noticed, like guys will have, like there's usually 12 guys a session. Like 6 guys will have it over like 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm like, you know what? Clearly it's a struggle point for the average man. So why not throw it in there? Fuck it. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, he does have a nice smile. He's very snarky. That's right. We had our monthly George Bruno freak out. That was pretty. It's at the point now where it's kind of like Remembrance Day, or I guess for Veterans Day for you guys, where every year it's coming and you're not looking forward to it because you hate parading, but you know, it's still a holiday and you're like, yeah, it'd be great. It's one of those kind of events. As much as I'd love to, by the way, and I guess Sabrina Carpenter, I guess she sings songs. I assume she used to be one of them Disney kids on the Disney shows, because now she's trying to be really sexy, and it's like the newest thing. Sydney Sweeney mid? Nah, Sweeney hit the wall. Now it's Sabrina Carpenter. I don't get it. I don't want to jerk off to this album cover. Literally the discourse on Twitter when it comes to male-female relations, just so you know where your competition is. Yeah, so they got a bunch of pictures. Sabrina Carpenter dressed up in like weird positions where it's supposed to like infer sexual stuff, but everybody's like, meh, I don't want to jerk it to this. And I'm going, I feel worst for Nuke. He must be like Rolo before the shitting on Whammon. Because like Rolo was doing his thing and then everybody rips his stuff off, reading his stuff from the car. Oh, hypergamy. And he's like, I hate these people. Now Nuke's sitting here. It's like every hot blonde chick on TV. Everybody's like, dude, this chick's a garbage fire. And Nuke's like, guys, My shenanigans were cheeky and fun. Yours are more sad and tragic. Not really shenanigans at all. Yeah, girls like that. Sabrina hit the wall. Give it 2 years. The wall is whatever incels tell you the wall is. Oh, speaking of which, we're getting into the topic. I just, a couple little bits out of the way because let's get the red meat out of the way now. The incels. Oh my God, on 4chan and on Twitter now, they are playing around with the deep fake AI stuff. Somewhere out there, like there's video AI. So you like put somebody's face, you put them in a video, and then it'll generate it for you. I would assume, I think Google does the big one, that they have some kind of parental controls on it. But somewhere out there, somebody has made one that does not have parental controls out of it. So they're like ex-girlfriends, Twitch streamers, whatever, and they're deep faking them. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. But whatever, it's 4chan. What do you expect? I can't believe the 4chan guys are doing things that I don't like. Color me surprised. So the new one is when you get the e-thoughts on and the OnlyFans chicks on Twitter, they're asking Grok like, hey, could you do me a favor? Put like glue all over her face and make her cross her eyes. Like basically bukkake stuff. And the OnlyFans girls are losing their mind. They're like, this is harassment. This is revenge porn. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, this OnlyFan incel civil war. Like everybody wins. We're going to get the thoughts off the Tom line and the incels are going to get the boot. And it's just going to be like us regular, normal, average guys. Like one of my new videos for Orion is ski school. Oh, dude, it's going to be awesome. It's, they call it, the genre is called screwball comedy. Kind of similar to Major League, but it's close and like National Lampoon's Vacation, not Vacation, the college one. I guess the original was just called National Lampoon. It's kind of similar to those, but it's not quite the, we got to call, it's not like the college humor one, and it's not like the sports one. Screwball comedy is just pure screwball. Saturday Night Live actually tried to steal the genre for it for a while there, and that's why it kind of fell off. Thanks, Happy Gilmore. But yeah, it's great. Gratuitous nudity for no reason other than it's awesome. People having fun, bros, beers, skiing, cool again. Who'da thunk? All right, drink water. Oh, Jesus Christ, you guys with your damn lists. Anywho, so covert contracts. If you guys aren't aware of what a covert contract is, a covert... Actually, I should put some timestamps on this one. 8 minutes. A covert contract is a hidden desire that you project onto the other person in hopes of reciprocity. And when they don't reciprocate, either because they don't want to or they aren't aware of it, it creates a feedback loop of resentment. If you do X, or if I do X, you'll do Y, and then we will have a problem-free life and you'll love me forever. That's the Glover line that's from it. And I've been talking about Glover's book now for like 6 years, and I am just amazed how the simplest, most basic, low-hanging fruit of red pill stuff is still resonating today. It's like, the Overton window has not moved. We can say it's because of churn. You guys might be the new generation of guys, and you're just coming into it. Meanwhile, the guys from a year ago just got out of it. Meanwhile, the guys a year before that went out of it for a year. It might be churn, and it might just be the case that you have to hit somebody upside the head with the 2x4 of knowledge in order to get anything done. I don't know. I don't care. It gives me one book and 6 years of podcasts. I am happy with that. Now, the covert contract. There is, in fact, what you will find is when guys are running their male action plan, again, so we're wordsmiths, the male action plan, deciding to build up their sexual value, being attractive, stop being unattractive. It will eventually turn, like the getting attractive thing, go to the gym, learn how to run a mile, like learn how to put on lotion, learn how to put like nice hair product in, stuff like that. Wear nice yellow glasses. Only the nicest of Hawaiian shirts. Generally speaking, it's not a difficult task. It's just something you got to devote some mental energy and some time to, so we're good with that. It's the don't be unattractive part that gets a sticking point. And it's almost always because of either the lack of assertion or covert contracts. Assertion's a different episode, so we're not going to talk about that. But yeah, the covert contracts, you find everything you do. For most guys who are like struggling or just like, malaise, dissatisfaction, whatever. Most guys are finding out that their life is absolutely full of covert contracts. And I'm not just talking about covert contracts with your date. I'm talking about covert contracts with your wife. I'm talking about covert contracts with your boss, with your government, with your news, with your friends, with your pets. Oh my God, the amount of people, horrible dog owners, they do something stupid like leave a steak within dog's reach. The dog eats the steak because that's what dogs do. Hey, there's meat and I can reach it. Must be my steak. And then they get mad at the dog. I've told you 100 times. If I just yelled at the dog, he would stop eating my steak on the floor. We'd have a problem-free life. And it's like, no, man, he's a dog. Dogs do what dogs do. I'm not talking about dogs. I'm talking about women. No. $10 super chat, or €10 super chat. My mistake. Thank you very much, sir. I have the incel problem solved. Drink beer outside. Really? I wish that would work in Toronto. It doesn't. And it's not because drinking beer outside is not great. It is. It's just that, how to word this? We have a bit of an immigration issue. I mean, it's not an issue. We're deceptively good at it, but we're not very discerning. And so there is a lot of incels roaming the streets. The one reason that I think it might work in Toronto is because beer costs money. And the thing about the migrated incels we have here, and that's about the best euphemism I can give you, is they don't like spending money on beer. They mostly like driving bicycles around with DoorDash stuff. By the way, dude, I would love if we could tar and feather drag the CEO from DoorDash through the street like Hector behind Achilles' chariot. Oh my God. The amount of damage that single man has done to the Commonwealth is just incalculable. Incalculable. What about having expectations? Expectations are different than covert contracts. Here's the thing. The difference between having expectations and a covert contract is A, expectations are overt. You are willing to own your expectations. And I'm not saying necessarily you have to like lay it out in like one of those stupid little consent forms. It's not some mirror image of feminism. Sometimes it's just the fact that your girl does something. You look at her cockeyed. It's like, really? There's your boundary right there. You're not a fan of that. Now, how does that differ from a covert contract? Well, let's say she decides to ignore your cockeyed stare and continue doing whatever the fuck she was doing before. Maybe she's clacking coconuts together and it drives you fucking nuts. I don't know. What do you do? Well, if it's a covert contract, you start getting really resentful. You start yelling. You have a fight. How can she slap? How can she slap? Or if it's not a covert contract, you enforce it. It's just a boundary. You enforce it. You set your expectations. Stop clacking the goddamn coconuts in the house. Clack, clack, clack. All right. So how do you enforce your boundaries? It's simple. I mean, it's easy. It's simple, but it's not easy necessarily. It can be easy, but not necessarily. You have your attention, you have your affection, and you have your commitment. That's it. You have no stick to beat with. You only have a carrot to pull. Make yourself scarce. Stop being as affectionate. I'll fucking leave the relationship. But there's the thing. Not everything warrants a 10 out of 10 response. That's one of the things that just drives me nuts when you see the DoorDash driver masculinity. There's another euphemism for you there. The DoorDash driver masculinity things, talking about don't ever put up with disrespect from a girl. You need to shut that shit down. It's like, what the fuck does that even mean? Shut that shit down. What, cover? No. Shut that shit down. All right, what does that mean? You got to yell at her, scream at her, have a temper tantrum? That's how most people interpret it. And that's what most people think. If I yell and I scream and I stomp my feet, she knows violence could come in the future, even though it won't, probably. She'll act right. It's great how you beat that covert contract with a covert set of boundary expectations. Dude. All right, Null, another 10 euro super chat. Radio said that the beer consumption in Germany is going down. Bro, drinking in Canada is going down. Drinking in Germany is going down. Next, you're going to tell me drinking in Japan is going down. Those are the hat trick trifecta of beer drinking countries, by the way. Canada, Germany, Japan. There's rumors that there's a Slavic country out there that's hardcore into beer. I've yet to see it. I think it's just a communist propaganda tool that Biden used to keep Trump out of the White House. Don't quote me on this one, but I know I'm right. Yeah, weed consumption is up and people are dumber. Also an immigration problem. Just tack that one on the end. Yeah, so I've always just smiled and walked off at disrespect. No idea if it's the right thing to do, but it stops it. Well, and there's two things here too, right? There's the context and there's the relationship with the person. The context is to what level is this boundary been enforced? If your boundary is that simple thing, like stop clacking the coconuts together in the house. Why did you pick a coconut example? Shut up. It's good because you're going to remember the fucking coconuts, all right? Clacking coconuts in the house. Are you going to be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm out of here. Fuck this family. I'm leaving. Get divorce papers. Here you go. I'm going to go get some milk. I'll be back in 20 years. It's a little excessive. Well, what would you find adequate? It's not about what I find adequate. It's about what you find adequate. And that's another thing that's very difficult for people in this red-pilled praxeological space, is that they don't know how to think for themselves. It's like you have to define it. That's your definition. Really? I get to decide if it's overdone? So why don't I do all that bad stuff you've been saying not to do? Do it if you want. Well, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you that people that do this end up not getting what they want. It's an odds game. So yeah, you can have your boundary. Clack the coconuts together. Fuck this family. I'm out of here. Here's some milk. Burning the ships. I'm out. Then what happens? Well, no wife, no kids, but no clacking of coconuts. Was it worth it? More often than not, you're probably going to find the guy's like, yeah, I kind of miss them coconuts. I miss my family. I don't miss the coconuts. And you're like, all right, well, perhaps there's a more accurate and calibrated response to this. Have you tried leaving the room? Have you tried taking the coconuts and throwing them out? Have you tried not buckling under her pressure for back rubs by clacking coconuts together and just holding your ground? Oh, that's so hard, though. What if it gets her mad? And that's ultimately what these covert contracts boil down to. It's a fear of abandonment. You may not think of it as fear. You may say, I'm not afraid. You are. Your actions and your instincts, you can't describe them, but they're there, and they perfectly fit within this paradigm. It's a fear of abandonment, because it's always, oh, dude. And here's the thing about these instinctive fears of abandonment, is they're not logical, they're not rational. Because they can't be. If they were, you wouldn't have them. You realize, you never actually say it, like, I think she's going to leave me if I tell her to put those fucking coconuts away. But you don't say that. You're just like, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. You infer it. You hint at it. You dance around the ultimate fear because you can't articulate it, but it's the same feeling you had as if she was going to abandon you. It's like that Mike Tyson quote, which is a great one. What was it about? Anxiety. Yeah. Getting hit doesn't make anxiety. Thinking about getting hit is what creates anxiety. It's exactly what's happening here. It's not that she's actually going to leave you if you do this stuff. You're just terrified that she might. The what ifs. And here's the thing about neuroticism. Neuroticism, oh, it's a very creative force. It loves going up, going out. You love thinking the worst case scenario. And the worst part is, the smarter you are, the better you are at binding yourself into a tizzy with this neuroticism. The better you do it too. But I'm smart. I should be better than this. No, man, the smartest dogs are easy to train. You've been trained to be a nervous, neurotic mess. They've trained you to be a chick. I don't know what to tell you, but surely we can do better. I mean, you can't, but we could. Only leave if she's letting other dudes clack her coconuts. Again, I had my Substack, not last week's, not this week's, but last week's. That exact situation. Training the brain, the family alpha. Wife was getting her coconuts clacked back in basic training. Now he's 2 kids in and 7 years into a marriage. What's he going to upend his family for that? Some guys would. Yeah, fuck that. She cheated before we got married. Fuck it. Retroactive fuck that bitch. Okay. Some guys might think that their pride isn't quite worth their kids. Got the custody, get the tests, right, to make sure they're yours. And he's like, yeah, they are. What are you going to do in that situation? Sometimes it's just like, take the L and move on with your life because you have to make your own decisions. How bad is this? Now, don't get me wrong. He got some strange, which it made him feel better, but that's just it. It just makes you feel better. Some kind of weird checklist of things that you did. It's almost like we all live our lives as if our life is a Reddit post and people get to upvote or downvote it depending on how well it did. Oh, she cheated on me in basic training. Oh, that sucks. Yes, but when I found out, I slept with like 7 more girls afterwards. Oh, well then upvote that. Yeah, but she wants to join me on my podcast about masculinity. Well, downvote that. Yeah, but I grew a big beard and I have a picture of me on my page doing a squat. Oh, upvote that. We're always trying to appeal to some kind of herd, some consensus, and never works. And that's mathematically impossible. It is impossible for us to be a communal gender and to have it not end up being some feminine imperative. I'll walk you through why. Generally speaking, it's about half and half, 50-50 men and women in the world. Who are the kind of people? Women all love that consensus talk. They love being a part of the conversation. So they are disproportionately in these consensus building activities. Guys, on the other hand, like there's a lot of weesh guys. There's a lot of, I don't want to call them, I'll just say theater kids and let you guys infer what you want, that love doing this stuff too. I'd call them women, but what is a woman? There is enough guys, though, that are just like, I don't give a fuck. And those guys just kind of leave the conversation. So you will always have less men than women. And the men that do join tend to be very feminine, which means they get bullied really easy because they fear abandonment. So as soon as you start appealing to the herd, to the communal, you're going to end up having a real boss bitch rad femme Hitler of a woman giving you the what for. And that's why communication sucks. Communication sucks because you want to be liked by everybody. And then everybody will use that to get you to do exactly what they want. And you'll do it too, because then, they'll like me and I'll have a problem-free life. But what happens? Well, he's very likable, but I can't stand him. Why can't he be like this guy over here who doesn't put up with my shit? And they don't think of it that way, because that's how instincts work. You just feel it. But that's how it ends up working out. Yay, socialism. Oh my god, it's the Hawk. I hear you've been out and about doing your thing. Hemingway style. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself, Red Hawk. Are you back? Are you back in the States? Is it OPSEC to even ask? It's a good question. Skin's itchy. It's extra hot today. I'm getting sweaty with the Toronto heat. How can you not like that guy, though? How can you not? Oh, by the way, Red Morning coffee mugs, store.ryanstone.com. Use promotion code promotion and you get these things basically at cost plus 99 cents. The company wouldn't let me sell them for no profit. So I had to offer, all right, fine, I'll make $1. So it's not even for me. These are for you. The coffee will taste sweeter. The Red Morning will be redder. The whammin will be whamminer. I can't give you a better sales pitch than that. Large organizations define how you're supposed to behave, core values. Yeah, says who? Says who? Let me guess, the large organization. It's like that tweet. I actually liked it. There's a few tweets that are very, very concise and poignant. Hi, this economic model I just built said everything's going to go to hell unless you give me infinite money. Wow, thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, large organizations define it. Yeah, sure, the church does that, but you know what happened? They let women into the church, and what did I just tell you? There's mostly women and half of feminized men, and then you get them all together, and they're like, you know what you need to do? You need to come to Pride Parade with your priesty gear. You need to forgive your whole wife. You need to, and it's all this stuff, and it's never good for you. It's good for the herd. And it's not even good for people. It's good for how they feel. If you doubt that the herd doesn't have your best interest in mind, look at the immigration issue. Like, Jesus. There's people right now rioting in LA because they want infinite migration. And then they'll go home and complain about how their quality of life has gone to shit because of all the leaf blowers. It's like, you can't reason with these people. You can't argue your way out of this. You can't build the herd consensus. The herd is fucking retarded. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they're doing. They just like to feel a certain way, and they have no idea. I didn't know that the actions and the consequences are connected. These seem like two separate events. Well, how do you think that? Well, they're like a week apart, so how could they be connected unless they immediately happen? It's almost like dogs. And I know this is going to rub you the wrong way because I love dogs. So if anything, it's more of an insult to dogs than to people. But yeah, so when you're training dogs out of certain behaviors, you have to catch them almost in the act. The rule of thumb is you have 5 seconds from when they do something you're trying to correct and your correction. Any longer than that, and they won't know why you're doing it. Why are you correcting my behavior? What did I do to you? You just pissed on the floor. That was like 10 minutes ago. The hell are you talking about? All I know now is that you're angry at me. Yeah. Excuse me. Will the red morning mug hold my wife accountable? No, but you can put liquid courage in it so that you can do the job better. Something to think about. There's no liquid courage in this one. It's just liquid awake. Where are my manners? You know who we haven't made fun of in forever? Short-haired feminists.
We know that these videos really prey on vulnerable young men who have not had many experiences in dating.
You know who else we haven't made fun of in forever? Oh, dude, where is that? I don't even have it on here. All right, I'm not going to go looking for it now, but... do you know who else we haven't made fun of in a while? Fucking Prison Boy.
I love the way girls smell. I love how they always make sure, by and large, they shower, and they just have an amazing smell to them in general.
Nils, I hate watched that chick the other day. Emily, you're watching that shit? Dude, other than like the ads, I don't give these people much thought. Unless I need it for work. I have no idea what she does now. It's probably the same boring culture war takes that she'd always taken. Same as same as every girl that I have the pleasure of collaborating with. Events of the day, moral indignation. I'm sure Rollo's got a wonderful long-ass essay explaining why these bitches is crazy. For me, I'm perfectly comfortable with like, all right, I'm done with this bitches be crazy thing. I'm out. I am out. Alpha AK, $5, 1 cent super chat. Does that mug come with a free pair of truck nuts? Hey, not once did I tell you this thing was like the most masculine cup or it would make you masculine. I will not have it lumped in with truck nuts. Truck nuts are specifically there so your Dodge 1-ton dick extender and your Miller Lite masculinity can load rocks and spare tires to the loading zone of the shooting range so you can get attacked by dogs to convince people how masculine you are. Because what is more masculine than consumer purchases? Very masculine consumer purchases are the only way to be a man in 2025. Buy my nuts. they'll replace yours. Thanks, Pepsi. Fuck that. I live in the truck nuts province. I didn't realize there was a whole province for it. I'm assuming you mean Alberta, by the way. If I had to think of like which province is a truck nut province. Does it come with a tonneau cover? I don't know. Maybe if you suck a dick, you'll get a free tonneau cover. That's all I could tell you. A more masculine mug would be carved out of wood. Dude, those guys drive me nuts, by the way. We're off topic now, so fuck it. Those go out into the woods and live like a caveman masculinity guys. And it's I know it's branding, but here's the thing. Rollo and I used to argue over Roosh V, whether his pivot to God and inceldom was real or whether it was a bit. And I'm cynical as fuck. So I'm like, it's got to be a bit. And he's like, no. He's a true believer. And at first I'm like, whatever. I've seen Roosh. He loves doing bits. And it's been like 4 years. So I'm like, all right, Rollo's kind of got a point. He is clearly a true believer. My theory on all of these stupid BAP wannabe, go out in the woods without a shirt. That's what a real man would do. It's tick season. Real men don't worry about Lyme disease. But I think they're doing it as a brand, but they're true believers. Like, he really believes if you take your kids out in the woods and chop wood without a shirt on, that they're going to come back as like a more virile man. And I'm going, what the fuck? I watch Transformers, same as everybody else. I thought it was cool when they have some like appeal to honor and integrity and then have a laser fight. But I don't come home and start trying to build a laser gun because I'm not 6 years old in a 35-year-old man's body. What the fuck? But and I can't help but think too, a lot of these guys are also, so they're religious, but they're not religious in like the Redditor sense. Oh, they believe in God? What a bunch of idiots. Like, not like that. And anybody here who's a church-going man will probably know this. There is religious people, you know, part of my church, my dad's church, I know the preacher, stuff like that. And there is the 15-minute converts. Like, I just joined because my life has no meaning and God will fill that void for me. To which Christianity, of course, is going to be like, yeah, that's kind of the purpose of it. Fair. The problem is they become white belts in the Christian or Catholic or Orthodox faith. And there is nothing more insufferable than a white belt in Christianity. Oh my God. They start quoting random shit that makes no sense. They start talking about the Crusades unironically. They start trying to fire and brimstone. They go fucking hard. You think the red pill guys, when they first get here and start talking about whammon ain't shit, you think they're insufferable? Wait to see the ones that find God. Because at least whammon are goofy. You got the almighty being and they're all in, and all the other, even the preacher's like, dude, slow it down. You got an eternity to mull over this stuff, man. Enjoy yourself. Slow down. Yeah, fake, gay, and retarded. Exactly. Tired of hearing everybody else's version of the red pill. And you know what, Crom? You're not going to change it. The people are just going to do what they do. I've given up on that. In fairness too, all like the grudges, all the red pilled grudges. Here's my armistice. Like, I don't really care. Pearl, do your thing. Tate, go for it, man. Fill your boots. I just realized, like, if they're going to have, like, all the shit they've been talking, and all the shit I've been talking, and all the shit Rolo's been talking, and all the shit we've all been talking. Do you know what's come of it? Nothing. The case to be made for Tate's trafficking ring and Forex stuff didn't come from me. Pearl, Date, and Nuke, I didn't hook them up. Everybody just does what they do, and it's all just fucking yammer. So yeah, there's the covert contract. If I just and it was like, there's so many weird, goofy hit pieces about me, about everybody on there on the internet now, and it's, well, if I just expose him for the traitor that he is, or the whatever, or if I find out his wife's a 9.5 and not a 10, it's fucking over. And then, like, well, then what happens? His audience will leave him. No, they won't. The people that like me, when they see people shitting on me, they laugh at the person shitting on me. The people that hate me see the dude shitting on me, and they're like, yeah, fuck that guy. People just want what they want. The minds have already been made up. The votes are cast. The president has been decided. And it ain't you. And it ain't me. And it's the audience. They just want to watch us fight and clack things together. And the covert contract that the content creators have is like, if I just do this fight, if I just appease the audience that much more, I'll have a problem-free life, and they'll love me forever. And they don't. Just ask iDubbbz. His audience turned on him as soon as he turned into a cuck. Lost his virginity to a crazy chick who used to get abused as a kid. And now he's like, well, I'm in this camp now. Fucking poor guy. And this all is just goofy internet drama. I get that. It kind of matters for you, too, because your wife brings a lot of this shit to your doorstep. She will talk about her coworkers who are bitchy and doing shit and fucking her over. She'll talk about her mother-in-law's shit and if your mother-in-law is like anybody else's mother-in-law, she's bored, she's a boomer, a little bit senile, kind of crazy, loves starting shit for no reason other than nothing else to do. My real estate has appreciated 10,000 times over since I bought my house in 1998. Therefore, I need to make my boredom everybody's fucking problem, because I am an elderly woman and it's socially unacceptable to hit me. Short of a baby, I think the only person that's more socially unacceptable to punch than a sweet old lady is a fucking baby. Even toddlers. You're allowed to smack toddlers upside the head. Sometimes it's even funny. But yeah, no. Elderly people, nah, man. Babies, no. Can't do either one. And then it's to our detriment, because now you got old people driving us nuts. If you go into Canada, you see all of our anti-immigrant protests. It's all boomer women. You see any of the protests against conservatives and against this and against the other thing, it's all boomer women. You go and watch Hamas protests, middle-aged boomer is Hamas women. It's all fucking ridiculous. It's a dick down epidemic. It's a dick down epidemic. There is an entire cohort, a generation, a cadre, a murder, a gaggle of underfucked middle-aged women and elderly women out there. I'm not saying you need to fuck old people to solve the world's problems. I'm just saying just be aware what the enemy is, and the enemy's got an itch that needs to be scratched. And if it's not from you, it's going to be from government policy. I don't know what to tell you. All right, let's change pace again. Who are we making fun of?
I've talked to Ryan Stone once. I'm pretty sure the whole conversation I pushed him like pretty hard.
What was hard, Ariel?
The therapist will essentially give them SSRIs, which I think the sexual effects that SSRIs have on the body, right?
Some. Like,
Yeah.
There's tons of, like, MAOs and, like, tricyclics that you're talking about, like, the type of SSRIs that used to be given to pedophiles. We don't give those to men. But he's not as informed as, like, I think he would like to be. Yeah.
Thinking back on that moment in time just now, it is insane. I'm very well informed. Like, extremely well informed. It's at the point that I get to be the guy who says, I've forgotten more than you'll ever knew. And I think it's true. You know, all of a sudden, I don't know what that babble means. Yeah, and so when you realize you're arguing and people are just wrong. They're not wrong. They're willfully, enthusiastically wrong. And they're hoping that you have that self-reflection that the average person does, where they're like, they'll admit, I don't have all the answers. And the audience is so uninformed. They're like, well, she sounds more confident. I'm pretty sure. And her tits are better. So I'm pretty sure she's right. And you're just like, no. Heck, it reminds me. Actually, here, sailor story for you. Reminds me of buddy I used to work with. He was my supervisor. Trained me a lot of like bridge watchkeeper stuff. We were in a TJEX, task group exercise. I think it was 7th Fleet, whichever one's the one out of San Diego. I can't remember if it's 4th or 7th or what, but so every year we would do this thing in August, September, a couple weeks. They would send the carrier group out, and then we would be Op 4, and we would try to sink the carrier. And it was mostly stuff over radio, you know, golf, Mike for guns or missiles. Americans never like acknowledge the signal, which is the way of saying, okay, understand, hit. And they're like, nope, we didn't hear it. Your signal didn't come through. Clearly weren't in range. $20 million exercise, and we're still playing like 6-year-olds in the playground. And generally what would happen is Canada would do some funky stuff. We were actually really good at submarine hunting. I don't know what we're probably not now. Probably good at chasing dick and COVID shots, but whatever. And we'd always do it in like these really weird ways. Like the one way we would have a banyan. If you don't know, a banyan's like a party. Pretty funny, by the way, because then the submarine would listen. They'd be like, we're listening for the engine signature of a frigate. We're listening for this. We're listening for that. They listen. It's like, that sounds like a fishing boat. Because it's just a bunch of us goofing around having drinks up top, right? And they would use that, and then they would passively out there and listen, spot it, whatever, and then that's how we take it out. It turns out camouflage works. Anywho, so we're doing some fleet maneuvers. If you don't know, that's like a parade, but for ships. And at one point, signal comes over. My guy interprets it, reports it to the officers. The officers start looking at the formation, and it's like everything's moving differently than they're expecting. Can you double check that signal? Because everybody else is doing something weird. And he checks, he's like, nope, they sent this. This means this, and this is it. And the officer of the watch starts getting weird. The XO starts getting weird. The captain starts getting irritated. And he holds to his guns. He's like, I don't know what to tell you. They sent me this signal. It means this. This is what should happen. And this is what you're supposed to do. I know what I'm doing. And everybody was calling him wrong. And he was holding his own against the entire bridge watch, which was like an amazing thing to watch. It's probably the greatest lesson I got that early. I was probably like early in my 20s. But the greatest lesson in frame When you got an entire command team yelling at you and you're like, I'm fucking holding it. Turns out, and he's like, what, the entire fleet is wrong? He goes, yes. The entire fleet was wrong. Absolutely hilarious. They did some little thing back here and they start doing this. They start checking logs. They realized it was wrong. I don't know who screwed up, but it was so funny. Because he was like giving the mean mug to the captain. The XO's like, dude, you can't give side eye to the fucking captain on the bridge. What are you doing? Calm that shit down. He's like, fuck, whatever. I'm telling you, I'm right. And then when they find out he's right, nobody apologized, nobody whatever. But just all of a sudden, everything he did was like worthy of like amazing praise. Made me laugh. And I think back to all of these internet arguments and bullshit like that. And I'm just like, yeah. This guy's name was Clint. Just be a Clint. Yep. And there's the thing. It takes a level of confidence to be right like that. A real big level of confidence. So you have to know what the fuck you're doing. You can't just be stupid about it. Because if you're wrong, and here's the thing. The stakes could never be higher. If you're wrong, it is impossible to walk back that reputation thing. Everybody got to see you be flat out wrong. Not only flat out wrong, but confidently wrong. So the next time you have any confidence, it is automatically under doubt. So you have to know what you're doing. None of this. Anyways, aside from that. So there's a little sailor story for the day. Covert contracts. Back to the notes. There's two more things which we're going to go quickly over. And then we're going to the other channel. We're going to talk about aliens. Because I would much rather talk about aliens than fucking this shit right now. And I know you'd rather listen to it like that way. The Dancing Monkey Improvement Program. That is the mother of all covert contracts. The Dancing Monkey Improvement Program is where you have this covert contract where if I do the working out and the losing weight and getting better and build frame, and if I do all of this stuff, then my wife will love me forever and I'll have a problem-free life. And it's almost always 2 years that it happens. And then the guy will find out because the wife is like not having it. Maybe she was cheating on him the whole time. Maybe she just doesn't care. Maybe there's too much bullshit in their relationship for her to buy into it. Maybe it seems overtly manipulative. Maybe the guy's not making the progress he thought he made. Doesn't really matter. The point is that about 2 years in, something happens, quashes that dream. And then the guy realizes he's been wasting his time. He did all the red pill things. He knows all of the authors. He's read every word of it. He's done all the stuff. On paper, he should be the quintessential red pill example. But that whole covert contract that he did it in, all of it was useless. Has to start again. Second one, Swiss watch. Swiss watch is where the guy thinks, well, because I'm smart and I've done all of this research and understand all of this stuff about frame and dread and all this stuff, that I can intuit my wife's or girlfriend's or date's thoughts, her inner thoughts, her motivations, her incentives. It's just a series of gears, and if I put them all together in just the right way, then it'll make her do exactly what I want. I am the puppet master, and I'm here to tell you that's another stupid one. Whatever it is you think about women, I can guarantee you're wrong. There's like no other things I'm confident about to this level. I will attack the entire 7th Fleet with this knowledge. Whatever you think she is thinking, the only thing you can say for certain is that that is not it. That ain't it. Well, that means that's the opposite. No, just means whatever you're thinking is wrong. What if I think this then? That's wrong too. Well, what do I do with that information? What should I think then? Have you considered just not thinking about what her motivations, what her incentives are, and just focus on the outcomes? Focus on the actions. All these guys love their list. Oh, she's got tattoos, she's got debt and this and that, and she doesn't go to church. No, fuck that bitch. It's like, hey, you're picking up all these things to infer her innermost desires. Have you considered just watch how she treats you? Watch what she does? Well, yeah, but she can change how she acts. She could. But you're still watching, right? You don't just stop. What, you thought relationships were one and done? Oh, you just do like a 2-week period where you pay attention, and if she fits all the things, you're smooth sailing. It's like, no, man, people change. And they change at inopportune times, too. Dude, you're casually sleeping with a girl. She's great. You start dating seriously. All of a sudden, she changes. You're like, what the hell? You get married. She changes again. You're like, what the hell? She gets pregnant. She's changing again. What the hell? The kids turn 5 years old. She changes again. What the hell? Yeah. There's like, you date even if you were to marry your high school sweetheart, have 7 kids, and live a long life, you've essentially dated 7 different women. And these covert contracts, all they do is they set you up for disappointment. So don't do any of this shit. All right. I make fun of that goofy Edmonton bitch again because it's so much fun.
So I used to be a pretty strong feminist. I've actually become a feminist again. Feminists, though, can be some of the worst people you'll ever meet. They can be like some of the most nasty. They'll take advantage of contradictory world values, right? Worldview, which is that like I'm talking about like psychology and mental health for men, and yet I'm in a field that like is overly feminized and shoving drugs down men's throat. And I'm like, I'm still recommending it because I don't want to lose like the baby out with the bathwater. Just because not all therapists are well trained to work with men. Just because a lot of therapists might even be biased against particularly like incel type men. If they hear misogynistic language at all, they might like shut you down. So and it was just difficult because I didn't want to be like super like nasty and mean or anything.
Fuck you. All I can think of is that Jack Murphy ending. Hey, we almost might make an entire cast without the cuck article. Yeah, so what do I got coming up next with you guys? You're gonna love it. I forgot to let me do that now then. I can't believe I forgot to add the trailer. Like, what am I doing here, man? There she is.
Warrant Officer E. Ripley, said license is hereby suspended indefinitely. Now, no criminal charges will be filed against you at this time, and you are released on your own recognizance. These proceedings are closed.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Do you like aliens? Do you like space marines? Do you love a strong female protagonist who could smile a little more? How about a film that gives you evil, slimy corporate guys doing evil guy corporate stuff because money? Well, I have the movie for you. Stories. Simple stories. Perfectly told. In a world where communism is a dream of the distant past and of space marines. No, not those space marines.
What the?
Boom! It's a movie that takes the premise of a sci-fi movie mashed up with a horror film and breeds it with the Predator, creating something for all ages.
Now what the fuck are we supposed to do?
It's a science fiction masterpiece, it's a horror film masterpiece, it's an action masterpiece. From the director that brought you the film where hippie blue people fight evil corporations to save trees, and the film where a single mom finds love with a robot who will sacrifice himself for her special little boy while not wanting a romantic relationship so he can fight against an evil corporation to save humanity, comes the sci-fi tale of a strong, independent woman who learns that being a mother is more important than working in a loading dock for the rest of her life while fighting against an evil corporation. It's Aliens, 1986.
Do something!
Son of a bitch. Alan West, $5 super chat.
So the meme, they're very good. This is really, they've taken it.
True Alpha.
Named Ryan Stone.
It says, ask Murphy about the article he wrote, cuckolding his wife. Clear up the cuck article. Clear up the cuck article.
Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me?
If I wasn't prepared to literally impoverish his entire bloodline.
I am now concerned for my career.
And I'm still recommending
Clear up the cuck article.
You know what? Fuck you for bringing this up. Yeah. Fuck you. Heartfelt.
I'm not going to have those guys back on my channel again. Absolutely not.
Just use a little bit of fucking common sense.
It is just...
That's great. That's you should.
Fuck you.
Sorry, apologies.
Just keep going, dude. One foot in front of the other. Before you know it, this will all be in the rearview mirror. Fuck you.
I never not laugh at that thing. One of these days we'll make it through an entire cast. I promise. I swear. I know we can do it. We just gotta believe. Oh, son of a bitch bastard. Yeah. Oh, Bull. Glad you like the promo, sir. Like I said, I'm due for a new one, to be fair. I haven't done one in forever, but I've been kind of not doing a lot on this channel. I've been focusing on the books and the other channel lately, but we're due. I've got still got that George Bruno rant, and I'm like, I haven't turned it into a Red Morning ad. It's probably worthwhile. Or at the very least, the new Boards of Canada, like, sad nostalgia ones. I think that's a series I've really got to mine a little more. I think it'll be pretty good. You know, one of these days, but not today. Anyways, you're going to automatically be transferred over to the second channel, Orion Films, and we're going to talk about aliens. I got a bunch of stuff to go over, and one of the comments in the video actually pointed out something to me that I didn't even notice. And it's not like behind the scenes shit like that. No, it's like a storytelling beat and a foreshadowing. And I'm like, I haven't caught it in 40 years. I love when stuff like that happens. There's been 2 of those lately. One's from Star Wars, if you can imagine, and the other one is from Aliens. The Star Wars one, which I'll talk about here, because I'm not going to talk about it there, because I don't like Star Wars on the other channel. But it was that the guidance systems for the missile to fire in the Death Star, it was never going to work. Because it didn't work for anybody else. And so, yeah, the whole point of Luke trusting his feelings, and there was like a scene where he like randomly trusts his feelings and shoots at something that just happened to be essential. And he kind of established through the editing that the Force was the only way this was going to work. And I was like, that's damn impressive. Like, you knew it, but you didn't know it on a frontal lobe level. You knew the instincts. Anyways, so that'd be fun. Anyways, one of those things with Aliens. You're going to love it. I am probably going to ruin what's-his-face for you, director, I don't know, Cameron. I'm going to ruin him for you forever. He is a mama's boy director. You guys are going to love it. Let me think here. We're all on Indian Twitter, whether we like it or not. Oh, dear God, sir. Dear God. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? All right, I'm going to give you the thing. We're going to jump over. I need 30 seconds to re-pour the coffee, grab a quick piss, and then we are going to have a lot more fun on the second channel. That much I promise you.
'79T 2458 Learning Corp. Little Red Riding Hood. Take 1.
"40 years of my life is in the wire that's gone." Does that make sense?
Where they say there are Indian people pooping on our beach.
It's a spool of wire. 40 years of my life is in the wire that's gone.